Hey, my name is PolishLynx and welcome to the latter horror visual novel. Let's check out what happened in the previous episode quickly, in case you are fresh to it. Next. Alright, with the help of his friends, Ashton tried to find a way to free themselves of the curse, piecing together what they currently know. But before they could figure it out, a ruckus coming from Isabella's house broke the silence of the room. And yeah, stuff happened because of that. Next, after spending the night at the local park, Ashton and his friends tried to figure out what their next step will be. However, coupled with fatigue and stress, the conversation quickly went downhill. Frustrated, Ashton walked out, suggesting they cool their heads first. Let's not forget, the whole conversation basically went downhill because Rebecca started acting up her way. Anyway, next, after the argument at the park, Ashton took his friends someplace where they could get rest. G welcomed them to his pub without question. While the others were sleeping, the detective and the bartender had a little chat about the past and what had changed over the years. Also, Zachari's arrival interrupted Ashton's conversation with the G. Left alone, the two attempted to mend things between them, only for things to almost turn sour after Ashton revealed his plans to return to the mansion. His friend eventually acquiesced after Ashton agreed to a time limit. And we continue. The sun hangs lower when I stumble back into the consciousness and drag myself downstairs. Around this time, the patrons usually start to trickle in the main lounge until it reaches a peak around midnight. Today, however, it remains thin. But considering what day it is, it isn't too worrisome for the kind of business G runs. He has always complained about the lack of a decent crowd on week start, although he doesn't really begrudge his customers for it. I mean, I understand why the crowd on a week start isn't decent, but yeah. No one wants to start a week with a bad case of hangover, after all, even him. Which makes the concerned look he gives me come off a bit too odd. With the kind of danger we're in, it swiftly puts me on the edge, even before sleep completely fades from my mind.
Something wrong, G?
G hums, but there is an undertone of annoyance in it despite his casual and open movements. And only after he finishes wiping a tumbler and carefully settles its face down on the table does he give me an answer. The way he stares back at me honestly makes me squirm. It feels like I'm being stared down by my primary school teacher for sleeping in class again.
Nothing much. Monday's still a slow day for this place. But you might want to check on your friends, kid. Looks like one of them woke up on the wrong side of the bed while you were out.
Let me guess who that was. Come on, we all know who that was, right? Another question forms my head along with a small confused frown. For before a single syllable slips past my mouth, Rebecca's irate voice rings out from some part of the main lounge. I knew that would be that would be her, but from the sound of it, it appears woke up on the wrong side of bed is a complete understatement. It's a normal day for her.
Alone? You know we can't just go in there. But we don't have any other choice, Becca! There's really no other way. We have to go there. If you'll just... Isabella, no.
And how about you stay here? I mean, honestly, I regret making a choice that would allow her to survive. Like, I don't like her. That doesn't sound too comforting. Once she assumes that kind of tone in an argument with Isabella, it usually ends with one of them walking out, or both giving the other the silent treatment. It lasts for about a week at most, if it's really bad, which really isn't what we need right now. I hope the bad blood from this morning will seem lower after all of us has gotten decent rest. I should expect that things won't be same with them, as it is with Zach and I. Woman, but also Rebecca. Turns out sleep isn't just what some of us need. Even G appears to understand it. In spite of his efforts to look as unconcerned as possible, there is a tense set on his shoulders. A nervous edge lingers in his eyes, as it occasionally flickers over where Rebecca and Isabel's voices are coming from. He doesn't want to deal with this, especially at the start of another busy week. Neither do I. Things have worked out well between them before without Zach or I meddling. But the imploring gaze G directs at me leaves me with no other choice. It almost feels like he's guilting me into doing something about it. I hate that it's working.
You know how I run this pub, kid. No fist fights, no cat fights, only good booze, bad puns, and off-key singing.
I like that. Good rules.
Go fix it before it blows up in your faces. I'd hate to throw two girls out of this place over a petty argument.
I mean, you can just throw out one of them. The pink-haired. And I wouldn't even feel bad about the fact. It's probably not as petty if Rebecca's already shouting like that, but I give him a note nevertheless.
Sorry about this, G.
He hums something under his breath for an answer and waves me off, turning away and returning to his work without another word. Even with the lack of a sizable crowd, he likes to keep busy. We're the same in that regard. Can't remain still, always has to stay moving, doing something, thinking, whatever keeps the brain work. I leave him to it shortly after. Rebecca's voice, of course, rings out once again, followed by Isabella's. But part of me wants to thank him for all the trouble he's taken for people he barely even knows. Once it's over, I should probably find some way. In the meantime, I have the imminent problem fixed. Gotta get to this before it turns into a shitstorm both of them will regret. And I know both of them will. For all of Isabella's complaints about Rebecca's bossy attitude. Or how annoying Rebecca sometimes finds the other childlike demeanor. I don't know why I would find that annoying, but fine. She's weird. It's a friendship they both cherish in their own way. Yeah, the pink hair already on her feet when I spot them in an almost desert area of the pub. I'm willing to bet my entire life savings that people are staying away only because of the brewing storm. The pink hair can have quite the mood when she's crossed. I can't speak for Isabella, I rarely ever see her sniffing, but from what I've heard it can be very unpleasant. The way she's getting up at the red head from her seat, regardless how much the other woman towers over her right now, already says everything. Empty plates have been left neatly piled on one corner of the table they occupy, a conversation that returned sometime after a late lunch then. Good thing they're already done and nothing's left to be spilled. Because in the next moment before I can approach and intervene, Rebecca stamps her palm on the table, of course. It sends the silver clinking sharply against the surface. Isabella flinches momentarily, we both do, for she shows no indication of surrendering in the face of Rebecca's temper. Everything escalates from there.
You've already gotten us in enough trouble because of this let a ghost everything.
Yeah, blame her for that, damn it, you stupid piece of garbage. I bet she always blames everyone around, but not herself for wrongdoings. Always. Sure, it's Isabella's fault. Not really, because she said to not look at the fucking letter.
And you can't expect everyone to fix your mess.
Well, no one asked you to do that.
You keep on putting the blame on me, but you're the one who didn't listen. All of you. If you just listened in the first place, maybe this wouldn't have happened. But you're too busy acting like you know what's best for everyone, when in fact you're the one who's being selfish.
Ha! Exactly what I thought. What I said just now.
I'm the one who's selfish. Yet you're still going to do what you want anyway, even if the people around you are already beside themselves with worry. This is how you've always acted since we met, and I'm tired of it.
Would be fine by me. I mean, who would need a fake friend like that?
Sometimes I wish you never even came here, because all you've given us is a headache.
I would say it's the other way around, and you are the one giving everyone a headache.
You know why I haven't come here. My dad. Your dad has nothing to do with this. It has always been you and your whiny, careless self that has always been the problem.
Maybe I should have stepped in earlier. Maybe I should have said something the moment Rebecca, that bitch, has slammed the flat of her hands on the table, or the second I've entered the area. Either way, it's too late to act. Harsh words have already been hurled between the two. Words more cutting than a blade, each and every one of it digging a wound too deep in the person they've been aimed at. For a long time, Isabella sits there in silence, with Rebecca stands unmoving, arms crossed and breathing heavy. Despite the lack of words between them, they're both vibrating with anger, refusing to meet the other's eyes. Ever slowly, the atmosphere in the room turns thick and smoothly. A stranger, no one in the immediate vicinity, including me, dares to break until the ones at its center does so. Rebecca definitely won't. At some point in our friendship, she has grown to become a woman firm with her opinions. The opinions that probably most of the times are shit. They're worth shit. She's never going to back down from this. Not when she knows she has a point. No. I mean, she's not needed in helping, so whatever, right? I mean, yeah, she's not. Isabella, abandon her, don't care about her anymore, and do what you want. God damn it, why am I keep losing freaking voice sound? Isabella, on the other hand, there has always been a certain stubbornness in her, as frustrating as it is to see sometimes. It's what has gotten her through life's hardships. I mean, she's been through a lot. Perhaps even the only thing that has, when you have nothing else, people tend to cling on to what they have within themselves instead. But she also knows when to withdraw, when struggle turns useless, a kind of awareness almost second nature to her. When enough's enough, Isabella abruptly stands and marches towards the exit, in fast, rigid steps away from the hurt and painful words they've let fly earlier. She bumps to me in her haste, the impact nearly knocking her off her feet. Instinct kicks in at the last moment. I reach out for her, grabbing her arm in a steady grip. Surprise flits across her face, an expression mirrored by Rebecca behind her that neither of them have noticed me. Takes Isabella's side. Agree with Rebecca. Oh, come on. This is an easy one. I mean, why would I side with Rebecca? Rebecca is... I don't like Rebecca. You know that, right? I honestly don't give a damn that she will react in a negative way here. I honestly don't. Why would I? I don't like her. I really don't. Also, I agree with Isabella with this, so... Yeah. If you are such a great friend that you don't believe in someone's warning, then sorry, but no. Yes, take Isabella's side, obviously.
Okay.
And Rebecca is below the level. Nice. I don't care. Rather than answer, once her shock subsides, she merely averts her gaze and hastily wipes the tears off her cheeks, like she only noticed them in that moment. Then, without another word or even meeting my eyes again, she gently brushes away my hand and runs off, leaving an awkward hush in her wake. Rebecca, that being heard garbage, soon slumps on the chair Isabella has just left, gingerly reaching up to press to the bridge of her nose and breathing out a ragged exhale. Arguments like this have always drained both her patience and energy. I mean, she has no patience in the first place! Usually more than her rowdy students do, despite being no stranger to it. It's no excuse for her to say those things, and my disapproval must be clear enough on my face. Seriously, if there were points for their stats, patience would be minus 100 when it comes to pink hair. When she finally glances back at me, her exhaustion immediately shifts back to annoyance, her mouth curving down to a tight frown. Of course it does. I cross my arm in response, waiting a reaction worrying and instinctive in the face of her irritation. Regardless of my opinions about this, I don't say anything yet, not until she is the one willing to talk. Another minute passes while we stare each other down, but eventually she craves out again and relaxes her rigid posture.
What do you want, Ash? If you have something to say, just tell me, or I'm going back upstairs.
Go ahead. I don't care.
Did you really have to say it like that?
Well, how do you want me to answer her? Do you want me to just let her go there and do what she wants?
I mean, no one needs your help, opinion, whatever.
I know you won't be too happy if I did that.
You can go and burn in hell. Honestly, you can just load the file and do the choice, or you know, lose the battle with the freaking ghost girl.
That's a low blow, Rebecca. Even for you. We all know she wasn't even planning on staying here this long. There was no need to bring it up if all you wanted to do was stop her.
Did you even see how she's acting? She's not a child anymore. Even my students can do better.
Yeah, right.
Becca, she'll listen if you'll just ask her properly. I know you mean well and you do have a point, but please be a little more thoughtful next time.
Or you know, go away!
Go think about it for a while.
By some miracle, the whole discussion ends right there. That pink hair elects to say stay silent, or at least it's how it seems when a minute or two passes and she says nothing. A rare occurrence when she almost always has something on her mind. Probably not really on her mind, but on her freaking tongue. Only an uneasy atmosphere hangs in the air when I finally decide to remove myself from the room. She doesn't stop me. Instead, something inexplicable flickers momentarily in her eyes, on one that quickly disappears until only a vague notion remains in memory. But in that one exchange, I've caught a short, clear glimpse of what has shifted, of what's inevitable. So much has changed throughout the years. We'll never be the same person we once were. And if it's for the better, it's for the better. Of course it's for the better, we've yet to know. It will be for the better, obviously. A lull has descended into my lounge once I return. G is nowhere to be seen. People continue to trickle out instead of in, and by the time I get back, only 2 tables remain occupied. Soon these people too will be gone, and the whole place will be devoid of anyone. Frankly, its current state already lends the place an entirely different vibe. Along with the soothing strum of strings and the steady beat of drums playing overhead, there's a cosmic sense to this. A far cry from times I've been here before. And perhaps it's for this reason why Isabella has chosen this place to retreat. She sits quietly in the furthest corner of the room, in one of the tables set right beside the windows. G usually keeps the curtains closed around this hour, but a small portion of it has been pulled back, revealing the busy streets outside. The late afternoon light spills right through it, outlining her small form and pulling on the surface of the table, where both her arms rest. In her hands, she flips his folded paper, turning it from one side to the other without any purpose. The letter. A small frown creases her forehead while she stares it. Yet there's something oddly tranquil in the picture. She has unknowingly painted. Something I can't bring myself to disturb, if only for a few seconds. It's one of those moments again. The rare ones, the ones where she's too still, too quiet, too completely opposite of her usual self, but it's these that often leave a mark. Not her cheery disposition of her lively attitude, but these short few seconds of wordless silence when the softest sighs and the slightest moments seem louder. The smallest, minuscule things that tell you about the person and her strength more than any words can express. Now that I think about it. Technically, I maxed out 2 people for giving up 1. Huh. Anyway, next. It's this that carve a memory no matter how brief it lasts. She glares at me, annoyed, and just like that, all of it melts away. Gone is the stillness, replaced quickly by the teasing and friendly jibes. Back again to what we're used to, what's easy, what's familiar, where every truth we hope to convey regrettably goes unsaid between us.
You're going to destroy an important piece of evidence if you keep doing that, Belle.
But she's far from angry. A bit upset maybe, who wouldn't be? Well, I do agree with Rebecca. No, I don't! Her words still hit below the belt. Sorry, I don't agree with Rebecca. My dog apparently is not on Rebecca's side as well. Regardless, Isabel doesn't seem like she'll start shouting at me, at least compared to every other people I've aggravated, intentional or otherwise. Some light talk might just do the trick and coax her out of this mood.
Come on. If you keep staring at the table like that, you're going to bore a hole on it. I really don't want to OG a new table. He'll pick the most expensive one and leave me begging on the streets.
She levels a quick glance, her expression dry and passive enough to drain every color out of the room. It's as if I'm just told her a terrible joke and she's expecting there will be more of it. Really now? She needs to give me more credit than that. My jokes are funny when I want them to be.
And I really don't care. I'd even take pictures and post them online. Go away, Ash. I don't want to talk right now.
Yet it sounds half-hearted at best. Like what's happening has already sapped every bit of energy in her, and all that's left are the words. Pretty soon those two will lose their meaning and leave a hollow shell in their wake. It's already unusual to see her like this. Everything has already gone to shit. I'd like at least this one thing to stay normal. So somehow we manage. We continue for the better half of the hour, talking, joking, with her short, feeble responses and banter that never goes anywhere. But it's enough. In the grand scheme of things, amidst chaos and death shadowing over us, it's these little, inconsequential moments that matter. It's her smile, her laughter, when it finally rings, easy and free of her burdens.
Okay, I have another one.
I don't want to hear it, Ashton. Go away.
No, really, listen. I know someone who talks like an owl.
Will you leave me alone if I bite and ask who?
A pause. And then she frowns as realization slowly downs her. Confusion flashes fleetingly across her face before eventually settling on a grimace.
Oh.
Suddenly she hugs her arms closer to herself and looks away, perhaps in her best attempt to stay angry. To no avail. In a matter of seconds, her shoulders shake with laughter she's trying to contain.
You're awful and I really hate you! Just leave!
It's contagious. Her mirth. Soon I've joined her in, briefly forgetting a problem that has piled up and continues to weigh down us. Laughing without reservation care, until one of the familiar warmth lingers once both of our amusement ebbs away. Somehow with her, these things have always come easy.
Feeling better?
A little. You're still lame.
But you're laughing right now.
Only because your humor is terrible.
Right. Keep telling yourself that. I know it's funny. And you know what? If you've kept frowning like that, your face might have cracked. That would have been really messy and ugly.
If Claire's can kill with you on, she sends me my way, I'll probably be dead by now. Seeing it directed my way, it takes only a few quick seconds for me to realize how she might have also taken my statement. How wrong and rude it might have sounded in her ears, however unintentional it is. I've never been good with words, but that's never an acceptable excuse, is it? Suddenly taking the brunt of her anger seems less complicated than correcting or explaining myself. Nevertheless, I try.
What? Crap. Damn it, that was so not what I meant. I was just saying you look better when you're smiling.
Her glare doesn't even wane. In fact, I think it intensified like the brewing storm. In the face of it, under the sharpness of her stare and her annoyance, I do what any person with a good sense of self-preservation does. Keep my mouth shut and shift my attention elsewhere. The crowd outside looks very interesting today. Maybe I should.
Thanks, Ash.
She utters all of it in a voice too small to quiet, but when I entered her, only those words, her gratitude, resonate throughout the whole room. Not the soft clinking of silverware somewhere, nor the last strains of music fading into silence above us. Instead, it's the meaning behind her gaze as she holds mine that lingers. Steady, unflinching, and open. In the same way she looked at me all those years ago, with bright eyes and an expression softening into a tender smile. I didn't understand it then. How easy it is for her to wear her heart on her sleeve, how she never shies away from expressing herself. Even among people she barely knows. How she can go through damn it, everything without losing herself. Now it's among the hundreds, the thousands, that hang outspoken between us, trivial little things with words still too big to put into words. Either because it's too early, or because there is never really a proper time. For now, though, this will do. Until the moment itself dwindles. Until reality pulls us back in, reminding us of the things we set aside in its favor.
Isabella, about what happened with Rebecca earlier.
I should probably apologize to Becca. I know she only means well. And I said some really bad things.
No, you did not. The corners of her mouth quirks up, almost as if she's too ashamed of the things she said.
Don't worry, she can be pretty stubborn, but she'll listen. Especially to you.
She's always stubborn.
You think?
You're one of the few people she likes.
But that doesn't mean she's being liked.
She won't stay angry for long, I can vouch for it.
She gets a point for... Isabella freezes. In an instant, the pleasant air around us dissipates. She shifts her attention back to her hands again, both clenched so tightly that her knuckles visibly pale.
I know, Ash. I just thought we'd find something in there. That if I go back, we'll get the answers we need.
Yeah, also she says I go back, right? She never asked the other person to go with her. So what the fuck is wrong with the pink hair?
I found the letter there, so maybe, right?
It's not that I don't agree with her. Hell, I've been considering the same thing. It's the only lead we have after all. But Rebecca also has a point I will always agree with. No matter how tired I am, it's not going to be a simple walk in the park. Who knows what we might find in there? If she comes with me, I won't be able to guarantee her safety. She'll be in even greater danger. Hence, alone. Exactly as I have told Zach. If there's a need to go back to the cursed place, I'm doing it on my own. Whether or not the rest of them agree with this plan is inconsequential. Their well-being is my top priority, and I'm not just about to drag them in there with me. So I tell her as much, despite the determination and desperation in her eyes. Whew, I can't let you do that or it's dangerous. Sorry, Isabella. I think this is a better option.
I can't let you do that, Belle.
The first one sounds like it's dangerous, so sorry for a second. Alright, so the first one sounded like it's dangerous. Watch your back while you are at it. I don't think that's a good thing.
Ash, the people living in that place now, they were with me during the open house. They have to know. They're in as much trouble as we are.
I know, but it's risky. It's dangerous. We don't know what you might find in there. Or if you'll even find anything. What if you see her again? What if she goes after you? What are you going to do? For all we know, it might be a dead end. It's not worth it. To put yourself in harm's way like that.
She offers no response, not even a form of resistance. No further argument like I've come to expect from her. Uncharacteristic. Well, at least you can hold it in a normal conversation way, right, Ashton? Not like some pink hair who immediately goes raging. Like I do about her. But whatever. Just a silence that stretches far too thin, till the air in the whole room grows heavy. In front of her, her hand still stays curled up, like it's holding on to everything she wishes to say but can't. I like to think that, yes, to some extent she understands, even if she does not entirely agree with me that dilemma is clear in her. Otherwise, her skull wouldn't have a deeper set to it, Her lips wouldn't be pressed in a thin line, or her hand would no longer be balled into fists. She would have pushed that argument if she doesn't, and I know she has no lack of things to say. Instead, she simply offers a nod, and a kiss. And in a moment of boldness, perhaps insolence, I reach out for her, taking her clenched fists into mine and drawing them closer to me. She sucks in a brief, soft and sharp, but doesn't say anything, merely watching as both my hands crowd hers. Cautious, meaningful, as if it's the most precious things I've held. Then again, maybe it is. Along with everything I've yet to convey.
Stop that.
Surprisingly, although the gesture has stuck her, she yields, allows a touch that is far too familiar and more than what I'm willing to give most.
You're going to hurt yourself if you keep doing that.
Gently I unfurl her fingers, flattening out each digit against my palms. Her nails have already created small dents on her skin from how tightly she has held it close, a little more and she would have drawn blood. Dip past this, smoothing a thumb over the tiny marks does nothing. But it's a small gesture we both find comforting amidst this chaos, and all at once the tension lifts. Her expression softens, the lines of her shoulders ease, and it is only after her lips curve up in a faint smile that I let go. Giving her hand one last kiss before turning to her. Part of me wants to tell her, admit that it's exactly what I'm planning tonight! What good will it do for? I already told Zach, one person enough. Hell, simply letting someone in on the plan makes me iffy. Broadening that circle and revealing too much would just cause another pointless concern. But someone has to beware, at least of where I'm heading off to, in case things don't pan out. Expect the worst, even if I've only intended to do a quick survey of the place. In my own words, risky. It's best that I simply leave it as it is for now. Isabel doesn't need to be burdened with the worry my entire scheme entails. I stand up as soon as the footsteps shuffle from the next room, each cadence slow and hesitant. Shortly, the pink hair comes into view, clutching her hands firmly in front of her and sporting the same uncertainty in her face. She casts me a cursory look, then shifts a nervous one to Isabella, who studies her with an almost hopeful gleam in her eyes. Their fights never did last long.
Belle, can we talk?
Do you know what a talk is for?
Alone?
Her interruption could not have come sooner, and I am all the more glad for it. Whatever kind of friendship I share with the two, this remains something for neither two of them, much like my own with Zach. And the outsider, they don't give me here. It's all the reason I need. Muttering an excuse and flashing Isabella a quick knowing smile, I beat a hasty exit out of main lunch and leave them to many things on their own. Before Isabel can say what she's been mulling over. Before the last imploring glance she drags my way forces me to change my mind. It's another lasting image that firmly etches inside my memory. In my memory, one that spurs the conscience among other things. I just hope I won't regret what I've chosen for myself tonight. We will find out if he will or he will not, maybe, in the next episode. So, for now, hope you enjoyed. I really hope to see you tomorrow as well. Bye bye.